Hi. Today, I've decided to do a video on loneliness, and that's simply because it's just so. What I'm trying to do is do a video that's associated with a sort of single emotion I've been feeling at a particular time, and that's not to say I'm feeling it now. It was something that popped up a few weeks back, and I felt quite a strength through admitting that I was feeling that way. I felt quite empowered to say that I was, and confident to say that I was feeling that way. And by saying that, ironically, I think it gives you the strength then to do something about it, or more to understand it and sit within that emotion and sit with how that is making you feel, whether you do want to do something about it. Because the ironic thing is, I say that I've been feeling lonely, but yet I put myself in those situations because I want and value time on my own. Because I think if you can't enjoy the time on your own, you're almost avoiding. Then I feel like you're avoiding maybe dealing with emotions, dealing with what you're supposed to be feeling, and because when you're on your own, when you're not when you're lonely, but when you're on your own, you really can comprehend what's going on in your life. You can comprehend what how you're feeling about things, about people, about yourself, and whether things really do need addressing. And when I'm on my own, even feeling lonely, I can address quite a lot. And I think you can. I've got a big social group of friends. I've got a big family, but there's one of my points. I think you can have so many people around you and still feel quite lonely and still not feel like you. We're mammals, aren't we? It's sorry, I need to finish my sentences. That's something I wanted to address actually. So you can feel through having all these people around, you can feel you've got, if anything it's worse because you're throwing yourself at as many people as possible, but yet it's almost this panic. It's like this should be the answer to my loneliness. This should be able to solve me feeling lonely, but it isn't, because you feeling lonely is something you need to address within your own space, your own heart, and your own time and mind. And I was sitting there the other day, and I thought and this is where things like, and I thought to myself that, okay, I'm feeling lonely. Why am I feeling lonely? And it's because I was wanting to, I think I was in need of companionship. But was I in need of companionship to save a certain part of myself? I don't know. It was just something I was sort of running through and mulling through my own head. I mean, loneliness as a definition, a complex and usually unpleasant emotional response to isolation. So isolation, feeling isolated. But this is the thing. It's like I read so much, and these are all contemplations really, these videos. But I read so much about how you should be spending time on your own and be okay to spend time on your own. But then, fucking hell, it's like, but then but exactly that. You feel isolated. You feel like you're not popular, or you're not. I mean, popularity is more something I felt when I was a teenager. I wouldn't mind to be popular now, because there's that typical thing, isn't there? You can count your best friends on one hand, whereas when you're about 20, I think you're about 20 or 30. And well, that's my experience anyway. You know, I have three solid best friends that I've I don't like that term ride or die. It's like it's a bit shit, but I suppose they are really. They're always there. They know me inside out. They know my reactions. They know my stubbornness. They know my good points. They know my bad points. And they'll always be there. But I think another point of feeling lonely, I think sometimes making yourself, when you're busy, you run around busy, frantic, and you overwork. And lately, I've only been working 3 days a week, and I keep thinking, I should be doing more, I should be working more. But why? At one point I was working 6 and 7 days a week, and I was earning peanuts, and I kind of put in that time and effort. But I used to overwork, over exercise, over plan, because actually just didn't want to be on my own and didn't want to spend that time on my own. Now I get quite excited about it. So my loneliness comes from a place of avoidance, avoiding dealing with things, avoiding dealing with emotions, and that's okay because I address it and I understand it. And I think I was talking to someone the other day about, he was saying he doesn't. Why is he unhappy with his life when he's got everything? And I said, no, why is he stressed if he has everything, he said. And I said, well, if you feel that way, that's up to you. But by telling yourself you shouldn't be feeling stressed and you have the perfect life, well, in whose eyes? It's like, if you're feeling stressed, let yourself feel stressed. You're having a stress day, let yourself feel stressed, regardless of everything you've got in life. So I have more than others, I have less than others. You let yourself feel that level of stress. Like I was saying in a video previously, so like with sometimes you can have a panic attack about having a panic attack, and sometimes I think the best thing to do is kind of let the emotion come, let the feeling come, and then it will go as quick as it comes because you've addressed it. And that's why I meditate, to be honest, because when I meditate I deal with all my emotions. I cried at doing a meditation the other day, and I say I'm not really a crier lately. I've been crying more, but that's more because I'm letting emotions come up and feeling them. And they're very brief little sort of sobs, but it's more like, oh, that's emotional. I cry. I seen a D-Day thing at the news in the gym today, and I had a little sob to that. And it's about feeling your emotions and being mindful of them and understanding them. It's quite releasing actually and quite cathartic, so I like that. But another point I was going to say is some relationships, especially more narcissistic relationships, can make you feel quite lonely, because what happens with them is they make you feel like you are the only thing in their life. So you almost feel guilty if you are with anyone else or have any other friends or anything like that, and they can turn you away from your friends and make you believe that actually your friends are no good for you, or they're toxic for you. They don't work for you and them, and then they put on all this guilt. And the reason I've addressed that is because I think I've often thought about doing a video or mentioning something about narcissism or narcissistic relationships, where everything is for the other person's own gain, and you're chipped away at to a point where you feel like you've got nothing left and you almost have no opinion left. And that's a scary place to be in, because everything in life, I truly believe, and this has come up time and time again within my mind, any relationship you're in, even if you're a parent, you're still important. You are very important. You are you. You are only you. And even though you're the parent, you're not your child, you're not your partner, and that might sound self-centered, does it? Like working on yourself is not selfish. Like you've always got to be able to work on yourself, and always got to allow time for yourself, and always allow time for working on yourself. And that's why I spend time on my own. And I think I tell you why I feel lonely, and it's just popped up in my head whilst I've been saying this video. I feel lonely when I'm not talking about how I'm feeling. And if I'm honest, I see, even though I do spiritual counselling, I see a counsellor, and even he said you don't need to come and see me. And it's just simply because I want to talk about openly, without worrying about what the other person's thinking or feeling or judging. I want to talk openly, non-judgmental, about how I am feeling. And he even said you always come up with your own conclusions and your own answers to how you're feeling, and that's the point. And he says, but you need this more to just kind of clarify everything you're saying and thinking. And this is why I do these videos, to be honest, just to talk it through, really, just to talk through how I'm feeling. And if and that really is, I didn't realise actually till I was saying this at this very moment, and this is why I love doing things like this and these videos, and because all of a sudden the answer comes, and there it is. My loneliness comes from my need to be able to talk and vocalise how I'm feeling, non-judgmentally and honestly, and effectively, without defence, without feeling like I'm treading on eggshells. And I think there it is. I mean, loneliness doesn't literally need to be. And I also like to talk about how there's like anger isn't just anger, isn't just blowing up. Like loneliness isn't just standing on your own in the field and you're like, shit, I want people around me. You can be surrounded by people and yet still feel incredibly lonely. So that being said, bit of a realisation video actually. I quite enjoyed that. I hope you get something out of this, and I hope you understand where I'm coming from. So have a nice day.